Public Safety held its first briefing this afternoon after that hazmat spill that shut down I-10 in both directions Tuesday afternoon.
So that closure lasting nearly 30 hours. The spill was caused by a fatal rollover crash involving a commercial truck carrying a toxic nitric acid.
Let's get right to News 4 Tucson's Eric Fink live near the scene with the latest on the investigation. Eric, what more did we learn from this briefing today?
Well, Sean, Monica, DPS releasing the name of the driver who died at the scene Tuesday afternoon. 54-year-old Rick Imel. We're told he was from Nevada. Now, investigators still working to find out what exactly caused this crash. DPS and other agencies getting that initial call coming into them just before 3 o'clock Tuesday. They say they shut down I-10 within 15 minutes of that call. That truck was carrying nitric acid, which was released into the air, leading to evacuations for some living right nearby and a shelter-in-place order for homes within a mile of the spill. DPS says the truck Imel was driving was owned by Landstar Trucking. DPS says no other drivers played a role in this accident. You will first hear from the DPS incident commander on scene Tuesday afternoon, and then a doctor who talks about nitric acid. He says it's unlikely that chemical traveled very far after the spill. Take a look.
The truck was traveling eastbound on Interstate 10 when it gradually left the left side of the roadway into the median, at which point it got into an uneven section of ground and rolled over onto its left side, coming to rest facing east. So it's gradually left the road and rolled over onto its side, which very often is indicative of either a fatigue driver or someone who's had some sort of medical event that led to the loss of control of the vehicle.
It's unlikely that this would have traveled that far. Pretty much standing within what I would say feet, tens of feet of the plume for tens of minutes. There is a possibility that you would develop pulmonary edema, respiratory disease, delayed, meaning 12 to 24 hours later.
And I have reached out to several of Rick Imel's family members. They are requesting privacy during this very difficult time. Now, we got word today that Arizona State Senator Justine Watsack, she represents part of this area. She urged Governor Katie Hobbs to call for a state of emergency after this hazmat spill. Within the last few minutes, I heard from a spokesperson with the governor's office. That spokesperson telling me a state of emergency is not necessary because at no point, the governor's office saying, did DPS feel overwhelmed about this situation to the point where they needed to call in state resources. We're live tonight on the southeast side. I'm Eric Fink, News 4, Tucson.